Welcome back to Rain or Shine Gardening. I'm Katie, and today, another day, another project here in our working garden, our side yard. So, here in our side yard, I have a few raised beds. I've shown my strawberry beds that I put in this year. I've got my circle archway, walkway with a couple raised beds. I have my little pop up greenhouse that I use to sometimes start seeds and to kind of house over some things and keep them protected. And then I just planted some cucumbers and some pumpkins and another raised bed on this side of the garden. But one of the reasons that I like this area is because it really is my working garden. I have my potting bench here behind me, and this is where I use the little sink that's in the potting bench to put some dirt in. When I'm starting seeds, I can fill my containers easily. And I like to make some of my flower arrangements here using this surface also. And then I keep all of my extra plants here. So whenever I go shopping and I stop by a garden center or I pick up some things, they usually hang out here on this side of the house before they get planted out in the yard. This side of the house, we're also working on putting down weed fabric so that we can put gravel on top of it. This whole side is going to be gravel. We don't have any grass. We don't really have any planted flower beds at all on this side. It is all going to be gravel. So this is kind of our walkway through back to where our chicken coop is in the back, and our run in the back of our yard. And it's also, like I said, just where we keep our potting bench and our extra plants and all of that. So today, my project is to work on organizing this a little bit. So in the spring, things are chaotic. You're planting. Usually, by the time I'm planting a bunch of things, I just have this stack of plant cans from planting that day, and they just kind of get thrown over here. I've got a little bottle of rooting hormone, and I've got empty bags of dirt, soil. I've got some fertilizer out. I just need to kind of organize this space from the chaos of spring. I also want to get a coat of stain on my potting bench. This is a bench that we kind of threw together with some extra lumber, and I'll show you a little bit more of that once we get to the point of staining. But the project today is really to move everything out of this area, organize it, get it stained, put that weed fabric down, and just kind of make it look a little bit nicer and make it a little bit more organized. So before the sun fully hits this side of the house, and it gets really hot over here, before the sun fully moves in, we wanted to get a start on this project to give us some time to work in a little bit of shade. And it is the weekend. We don't have anything planned today other than getting some projects done. And this is the first one on the list. So we're going to jump in and get started, and we'll take you along. All right, that actually didn't take too long. We got the potting bench all cleared off, And now we're going to pull it away from the house and prepare it a little bit more for staining, and then prepare the ground to put down our weed fabric so that we can put gravel on top of that eventually. We don't have the gravel today, so that will be in the future at some point, but we're going to prepare it for gravel. So we're going to pull this out, put down the weed fabric, prepare it to stain it, move it back in, and then we'll be ready to move things back in underneath of it too. All right, let's go. All right, we got our potting bench all stained up now, so that can kind of sit in the sun and dry until we're ready to move it back against the house. And now it is time to lay down some more weed fabric so that when we do get our gravel, we can easily just rake it into place. We won't have to move the potting bench again at that point. I think that's as far as we're going to get for this project today. We got a lot accomplished, and I downsized a lot of my plant cans, even though I'm still holding on to some of them, as you can see underneath. But we got everything moved out from under our potting table and we got it stained up. So now it looks a little bit nicer and it has a little bit more protection on it. Scrubbed out the sink, got that cleaned up, and when we had it moved away, we put down our weed fabric. So now this whole area where I am and where my raised strawberry beds are and where my pop-up greenhouse is, it's all covered in this weed fabric. So we are ready now, pretty soon, to bring in a load of gravel and to continue our gravel in this area. It's a nice walk pathway that we have, and we just really want to keep the weeds from and the grass from growing up in this area. It's a lot to weed eat around and to kind of keep maintenance of. So the rock will be a lot easier. It'll keep a lot of the weeds away. And I'm happy with how my potting bench, my potting table turned out. And yeah, rain or shine, another project done. And we'll see you next time.